Good morning and welcome back, College Algebra. A couple of things I want to update you on. First off, if things continue the way that they look to continue, then we will be looking at eliminating the Unit 4 test, and we will just have one test that will be a combined Unit 4, Unit 5 test. I still have not heard back from Hinds Community College yet about the distribution of the final exam, but as soon as I know anything from them, I will let you know. As far as the Unit 4, Unit 5 test is concerned, again, this is if things continue the way they are. If things change and we're back in school after April 17th, then we'll look at just picking up where we left off. You'll have a Unit 4 test at that point. But if things do continue, like I said, what's going to happen is all the Unit 4 homework will still be due April 7th, except for the Unit 4 review. The Unit 4 review I will push back and let be due as the combined Unit 4, Unit 5 test happens. I will leave the Unit 4 test posted on WebWork so that you can have a practice test to look at from the material that would be covered from Unit 4. So we'll look into that, see how that goes. Hopefully that will go well. Hopefully you are staying on top of your assignments. I have several of you who have not done any of the assignments yet, and that concerns me. So please be getting to that. I've had also several people who viewed the assignments, viewed the videos, so hopefully these are helping you out. Now, to pick up, we'll just go ahead and start looking at solving some problems dealing with section 4.5. We've looked at 4.1, 4.2, and 4.3. We'll skip 4.4, although if you read through 4.4, 4.4 has some helpful hints into solving 4.5, but they're not necessities. Hinds Community College has deemed this not a lesson that has to be taught, but if you want some helpful hints, there is something called Descartes' rule of signs there, and you can look and see how you can get some helpful answers from using those lessons. Some of the hints help, some of the hints don't help, so just read it if you want to. But 4.5 is just finding how to find the solutions of rational or polynomial equations. And I'm going to start off with a basic problem. And we're going to be doing a lot of synthetic division and solving of these problems. The first problem I want us to look at is going to be 15x cubed minus 61x squared minus 2x plus 4. Now, the very first thing we're going to do with this one is we're going to use something called the rational roots theorem. And what the rational roots theorem does is the rational roots theorem shows us what our potential rational solutions are. Now, you could have solutions that have a square root in them. That would not be a rational solution. If you remember, a rational number is any number that can be written as a over b, such that a and b are integers and b is non-zero. So what we do is we take all of the factors of our constant term. In this case, it's 4. So we have plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, and plus or minus 4. Those are going to be all of my factors of 4. And then we take all of the factors of our leading coefficient. Now, again, make sure that these are written in descending order. So this would be plus or minus 1 for 15. 15 is our leading coefficient. Plus or minus 3, plus or minus 5, and plus or minus 15. So what we want to do is we want to take all of our factors of our constant term and place them over all of our factors of our linear term, our leading coefficient term. And after we do that, then we can start seeing that some of these will be up here multiple times possibly, so there will be some that we can possibly eliminate. But let's see what happens here. All right, first off I have plus or minus, and I'm just going to go ahead and put a plus or minus and understand that all of these are the plus or minus of these. So we have 1 over 1, 1/3, 1/5, and 1/15. Okay, and then we go on to 2. So we have 2 over 1, 2 over 3, 2 over 5, and 2 over 15. And then finally, we have 4. So 4, 4/3, 4/5, and 4/15. Now, this is a rare case because in this one, none of our factors are in here. None of them will reduce. They're all already reduced. So we're not going to be able to do any canceling. So what we have to do is we have to potentially try any of these roots here, see if they give us a 0 when we do synthetic division. If they do, they're a root. And then when we get down to 3 terms, we have a quadratic. And when we get to a quadratic, we can either factor it or do the quadratic formula. So let's go ahead and start here. I'm just going to start with +2. Again, I have no idea if this is going to work or not, but I'm just going to try it. Hopefully it won't work, because I want you to see an example of one that does not work. So anyway, I have, now again, I take my coefficients here. So I have 15, 61, negative 61 that is, negative 2, and then 4. So then synthetic division says I'm going to bring down my 15. Okay, 2 times 15 is 30. Negative 61 and negative 30 is negative 31. That would be negative 62. Negative 62 and negative 2 is negative 64. 2 times negative 64 is negative 128. And we definitely do not get 0 right here when we do the synthetic division. So 2 did not work as a factor. So let's try another number. Let's try 4 here. Let's just see what's going to happen if we try 4. I would rather try my integers first. If the integers don't work, it's just easier to multiply with an integer than it is with a fraction typically. So that's the reason I want to eliminate my integers first. Because if I do get a fraction as an answer, then hopefully I can get that when I get down to ready to do my factoring part. So let's go with this. Let's go with 4. So I'm going to have 4. And from 4, I'm going to have 15, negative 61, negative 2, and 4. So doing my synthetic division here, bring down my 15. All right, 4 and 15 is 60. Negative 61 and 60 is negative 1. 4 and negative 1 is negative 4. Negative 2 and negative 4 is negative 6, and that's 24. So 4 did not work here. In fact, I just looked and saw that I miscopied the problem. So actually, we're going to see that none of these are going to work for this particular problem right here. But what I do hope that you see from this is how to go about doing the work. Now I'm actually going to make sure that I copy the problem correctly. But some of the problems, I do need to say this, some of the problems will just say, hey, list the potential rational roots. And the potential rational roots are these values right here. Now, the bad news is on the computer, you do not have a plus or minus button. So you'll have to enter in the positives of these numbers and then also enter the negative numbers. So just do positive 1, negative 1, positive 1/3, negative 1/3, and so forth. So that's if it asks for the possible rational roots. Now, when it asks for the actual rational roots, that's when you have to go through and then do the synthetic division. So just pay attention to what the directions are saying in those problems. I'm going to stop this video and then we will look at another problem, and then hopefully you'll be good to do these on your own.